So, Lons 2. Yes, you heard right. Lons scored twice. Asna. Yeah, 1. Another sad, sorry state of affairs in Europe under Mikel Arteta. Some very, very disappointing performances tonight. One person, in my opinion, can walk off the pitch with his head held high. The rest were very, very iffy. Bukayo Saka walks off. Well, I say walked off. He limped off and looked like he had piles when he sat down on the bench. Yeah, like one of them sideways bum cheeks ones. Yeah, like where you don't want to touch the touch the seat. It is what it is. Listen, if you want to cry about the ratings, cry. You know, we're here to tell you right now, we don't care. Smash the likes. Follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Link in description. Follow Matty. Sub to him, the Southern Gooner. Kenny, give us your breakdown of that. Well, what can I call it? Mess is probably the best word tonight.
Well, the thing is that if you listen to Michael Owen and Martin Keown, they're going on like all we have to do is just turn up and win this group. But I've always said that we're always going to get found out away from home in Europe, and that's exactly what happened. You know, we learned a lot about some of our players. We learned a lot about our second string players, and they may get away with it in the Premiership, but against good teams in Europe and good teams in our league, they'll get found out. We just saw evidence that our bench isn't strong enough. We also saw evidence as well of some of our fans who were just waiting for Riot to do an F up. You know, the fact is that, you know, they just have to get used to it. And Ramsdale's not coming back. But one of the glaring things was no Saka, no game plan. Simple as. You know, it's so bad that if Saka's 80% fit for the Man City game, he's playing, because trust me, no Saka, no Martinelli, no penetration. And I say it in a footballing sense, there's no way we're going to hurt teams. We can pass teams off the park, but we got no finishers there and no pace to open teams up. It was the easiest game ever for Lons when Saka on the pitch. It was piss easy. Easy. You know, yeah, they rode their luck, and the goalkeeper had to make some regulation saves, but they actually took the piss out of us, because as soon as Saka went off the pitch, they pushed their men up and said, doesn't matter if they hit the ball over the top, it's not gonna hurt us. Their goalkeeper was taking ages on the ball because he knew there was no place.
Yep,
that's
facts.
You know what I mean?
Facts, absolute facts. Matty, give us your little breakdown, bro.
That game was a shambles. That was a shambles. It was a shambles from top to bottom. We are in major trouble in the Champions League. We've got Sevilla coming up twice. I'll say it again. That will determine pretty much what we do with this group. Lons, we get them again. We also have PSV away, and we saw what happened last year. We played them. They're not to be taken lightly as well. I know we blew them away last go around, but things change once you go to, like Kenny said, to other stadiums. We are short across the board. We're thin. We don't have a striker. We don't have quality players in key positions, and unfortunately, there's no transfer window in the next couple of weeks to bail us out. So strap up, hold on to your butts.
Yep. Let's get into it. David Raya, Kenny.
I'm sorry, I'm going to have to mark him down, because he's doing what the manager tells him, so you can't really judge him that harshly. But, he's made a mistake. I'm going to give him a 5, because everything else I didn't have really a problem with. He didn't have a bar with any of the goals. He came for the crosses. He still passed the ball out, and he still had the balls to try and do it, because that's his game. But, when you lead to something catastrophic like that, you've got to be added. I can only give you a 5.
Let's go to Zinchenko, Matty.
4 out of 10. 4 out of 10. In midfield, you want to go straight midfield, I'd say a 6 or a 7. But for overall, 4 out of 10. defense is not his strong suit. We all know this.
Yep,
And
facts.
I could go on a rant about buying Kai Havertz and moving him there, but we don't have time for it tonight.
Let's go to the opposite side. Ola's boy, Kenny, Tomiyasu.
Best player today. The only player that just justified his selection. Like I said, showed that that he was his form and his repertoire was the norm. I'm going to give him 7 out of 10. I'm just so glad that he was on the pitch today, because without him, he could have been worse. It could have been worse. He 100% justified Arteta selecting my head of Benjamin White, because if Benjamin White played, it would have been a catastrophe, an absolute catastrophe, because he can't deal with pacey strikers. He may have pace going forward, but as defensively, very, very poor. So Tomiyasu 7 out of 10. I just wish we had about 11 Tomiyasus out there today.
100%. Let's go William Saliba, Matt.
Saliba, 5 out of 10, man. It was a couple of opportunities there where he was a little ball watching. A few times he was out of position there. He had a little bit of a howler tonight by his standards. So I think there was a lot of room for improvement going into the next game. But tonight he just was not on it, man. He just was not on it tonight, unfortunately.
Let's go to his partner in crime, Kenny, Gabriel.
Just as bad, Saliba. Like I said, it wasn't. Normally in the Premiership, he deals with pace, and he outpaces his opponents in the Premiership, and he outstrengths them. Today, he had to deal with just pure pace, and I don't think he coped very well. He really didn't cope very well. I can give him a 5 as well. It wasn't great, and even when he tried to, play the ball out the back, he was as guilty as Raya putting us in danger. Only Raya had the misfortune of his mistake leading to a goal.
Yep, let's move into midfield. Declan Rice.
Declan Rice, I'd say tonight I'd give him, I'd say a 6. I'd say a 6, and that's not a good 6. I want people to understand it's not a good 6 by his standards. But he did okay tonight. Wasn't a lot to write home about. Basically, he distributed the ball, moved the ball around as good as he could, and that's pretty much about it. Really, not much to not much to say, man.
I thought he was poor tonight. Martin Odegaard, Kenny, captain, leader.
Martin Odegaard huffed and puffed. He had no effectiveness whatsoever. Deservedly got hooked. I'm going to give him a 5. There was no creativity for him. You can make the excuse there wasn't pace for him to run onto, but he had no effect. They completely dominated him in midfield, and they completely gave him no avenue for a pass, no creativity. They played him really well. No effectiveness whatsoever in the game. 5 for me.
Let's move to Kai Havertz. The confidence after scoring a penalty, yeah?
Lee, you saved that for me, didn't you? You made sure you mark my name down.
I was saving that for you, bro.
That was 2 out of 10. 2 out of 10 for all that hype that I heard this weekend. Oh man, he's off and running now. And where has he ran to? Right back to the same thing he was doing before he put that goal in this past week. This man here is he is a detriment to this team. And I don't normally like to throw players and say he's a detriment. He's a detriment to this team in every sense of the word. Nothing good came out of tonight with Kai Havertz. There was nothing new. There was nothing that took him to another level. All this did was basically just add another checkbox to another game where he offered nothing.
Facts. Let's move to Trossard, Kenny.
Wait, and I thought Fulham was bad. This was just as bad. I'm gonna have to give Trossard a 4. You've got to do better than that, mate. You're playing for a big club, man. We know what you're capable of, but you're not doing yourself any favors, because all you're telling your manager is that he's better come off the bench. Don't be that player, Trossard. You're better than that, mate. Get back to what you were at Brighton and what you promised when you did start. Because at the end of the day, it's very difficult for your supporters to say you're harshly dealt with, that it's harsh that you don't play, because you did nothing to, enhance your reputation with your supporters, and you did nothing to you made your supporters look stupid, because today was just a non-event. Yeah, you cut in and you had a shot. It was really bad.
Thanks. Let's go Fabio Vieira.
I mean,
sorry, my bad. I'll take that back. Jesus.
Oh, Jesus, I'd say a 6.5. He looked good there the first bit after he scored his goal, and after that, just kind of basically went silent there. He tried to do a few things. It was kind of like what Kenny said. It was huffed and puffed, but you really didn't see too much after. I'm trying to stop from going on a rant. So Lee, I'm going to I have to pull back. I'm trying to pull back on these player rates.
Kenny, Fabio Vieira, Kenny.
Fabio Vieira, thing about him, again, play Fabio Vieira in his proper position. His position is the position that Odegaard occupies, or the position that that Havertz occupies undeservedly today. Today he was just running around like a headless chicken. He looked lost. It was like there wasn't enough blind alleys for him to run into, because he couldn't find the blind alleys to run into. That's how you sum up his performance. Often nothing isn't right. I'm going to give him a 4, but that's not against him. It's more. I'm more upset with the manager for putting him in that situation. But the problem is that all the players that we try to big up, and we're going to get to them later, just sometimes he's better than the players we big up and think should play, and he's shown that. So I have to give him a 4 on the performance, but it's not a reflection on him, because I can see why he reflects him, because certain players who we lord up, our manager just doesn't trust. And to be honest, they haven't done enough for me to change my mind and disagree with the manager's lack of trust in them, because they kind of showed that when they came on.
Yeah, facts. Absolute facts. Let's move on to
you ain't done Saka. You haven't done Saka yet.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, we didn't do Saka. Sorry, my bad. Saka. Yeah, go on, Matty. Saka.
I give him a 6 out of 10. He provided the assist for the goal. Was doing pretty well there, and then of course we know the nightmare started, and so after that it was pretty much downhill from there, and it's probably going to be downhill for a while. So
yep. Let's go to Reece Nelson, Kenny.
Not good enough to play for Arsenal. Sorry, not good enough. I was pushing for him to start against Tottenham, but I'm going to have to come to the same conclusion as his manager. He hasn't like. I thought with the Brentford game when he scored his goal, I thought that might give him maybe a shot in the arm, but he did nothing. He's brought in to try and stretch Lens' defence, and he did nothing that was a sort. I know European football's different. I know the way we play different, but one of the things is that if you're on the pitch, you've got to give you've got to give like Tommy Esser, you've got to give like I said, Gabriel with that out ball for the left. You didn't do that, and it's not good enough, mate. It's not good enough. I actually question the wisdom of him even getting a new contract, because right now he doesn't deserve it. It says
totally agree. He's been shocking.
I'm going to give him a 4, because I look at the manager and I think, you know what, you just proved your manager right. Why he doesn't put you in big games?
Yep, but then why sign him up? That's a whole new stream. Let's move on. Let's go to Emil Smith-Rowe.
Emil Smith-Rowe came on and did, once again, he got thrown to the Wolves League, but you come on and you watch a player who clearly knows what to do, and he just cannot get adequate game time to work off the rust.
Bro, he's had more shots, in the last 15, 20 minutes since he's played in 2 games than Kai Havertz has in 10.
Yeah. Yep. I'm gonna have to give Mr. Smith Rowe once again. He looked better in the little capsule that we got than anything we got from Havertz. So I'm gonna go 6 out of 10.
Let's go Eddie Nketiah, Kenny.
Eddie Nketiah is another one who, unlike, he should count himself lucky that Mikel Arteta is the manager, because he's had a lot more chances to prove his worth than some of the players who Mikel Arteta has given up on. But the thing about it, right, it speaks volumes that he didn't trust you in the big games. If it's a Champions League game or a League Cup game, you play. You've got to, when you play for Arsenal, you have to do more. If you know, than what you're given at the moment. You have to be trusted in these games. You're not trusted. You didn't have much time to come on. You were left with the short straw as well. But when you came on as well, no threat whatsoever. Couldn't get in the game. The game just passed the lad by, so I'm going to give him a 4.
Last but by no means least, Matt, Benjamin White.
I mean, I saw him run up and down the flank there for a little bit, but outside of that, it really wasn't much to write home about. He'll get a 5.
Right, people, you know how this works. If you want to cry, cry. We don't care. We're back on Sunday against Manchester City. Yeah, it ain't easy. Right, we're going to do a 3, 2, 1 countdown, and we're going to rate this dead-ass manager. 3, 2, 1, 5. Oh.
2. 2.
Wow, how am I giving the best score?
You're entitled to give him a score because he's got a lot more. He's got a lot right than in the last couple of years, and he has before. But the problem is that he's always going to get found out in Europe.
Yep.
Reason why he's always going to get found out in Europe is because as much as
he's a rookie.
No, because at the end of the day, that squad we have is probably good enough for the top 4, but we're going to miss out on the league because of the fact that I say it horribly, but he said, I'm going to name them name by name. Havertz should do better, and he's nicking a wage where I think he's better than that, but he's lazy. Smith Rowe, sadly, the way we play has passed him by, which means he's surplus to requirements. Nelson's not good enough. Vieira needs more game time, so we can see he's good enough. Trossard,
it's up and down. It's up and down.
It's up and down. And then Eddie Nketiah is not good enough. Reece Nelson's not good enough. But the reason why I'm going to give him a 2 is because, once again, you've got to do better than that, man. You need to read the game. A lot of people, you can't just make these substitutions when we concede a second goal. You should have looked at the situation and said, right, if I don't make a change now, this game's going to go away from us. But he doesn't. He just thinks, oh, it's only 1-0, it's 1-1, or it's 0-0. Are we all right? Yeah, we're playing shit, and this guy's not really at it. I won't make a substitution. I'll make a substitution until it gets worse. By the time
I'll wait until we can see.
The game was already lost at 2-1. The game was over. Yep. As soon as we got a second goal, they were going to protect what they need. So to bring all these guys on,
facts.
It's too late.
Kenny, the game was lost because during the fan cam, we were probably about 5 to 8 minutes into that second half, and we were starting to call for substitutions for players to be moved
off, etc., etc.
Yeah. The game was out of his control. Then this manager, I want people to understand this is not this just started ordeal. This has been going on for a while, and as the guys alluded,
well, this is his 4th out of 5 campaigns in Europe.
Yeah,
and he's embarrassed us every campaign.
Every time we end up getting embarrassed. I have seen more embarrassing losses under this manager in Europe than I've seen in my lifetime of watching. And I've watched quite a few European games. I mean, these kind of games back in the day, we blowing people 5-1, 6-2, 7-1, have standard lead stuff. We've been having fun.
Prague 7,
all this kind of stuff. We're up here and we lose to Lons, and this manager, and I'm going to keep hammering this, has sacrificed one of our best players. Sacrifice after not going out, getting the players that we need to compete. We are bare in the cupboard. We're bare in the cupboard.
Definitely. You know it is, Matt. You know it is, Matty. Everyone thinks that City are the ones who are going to suffer from their losses. Well, Saka's a bigger loss to us than Rodri and De Bruyne is for City, because City have got a quality throughout the whole squad. We've only got quality within the first choice players and maybe a couple of subs. Apart from that, there's still about 10 players out of that 23-man squad are just not good enough to play for Arsenal and not going to help us win the league and do in Europe.
Yeah, absolute facts. And on that bombshell, we are wrapping this up, people. I'm having a day off tomorrow. I'm going to go to the beach, and then I'm going to an event. Kenny, always love. Appreciate you, man.
It's good to do Brighton, right? It's good.
Yeah. See you, brother.
Matty, always love. Yeah, come on, my guy. Always. Make sure you sub to the Southern Gooner. Follow Kenny Ken 1972 on Insta. Links in the description and that. But I need to go out bed. It's 20 to 3 in the morning, and I need to be out of my house at 7:30.
Hey, Lee, that's what Europe does to you. European nights involving Arsenal.
It ain't easy.
It ain't easy. It could be why say he's still waffling in the group chat. I'm like, you're still backing Ten Hag, bruv. Yeah, back your manager. He's like, how about you back yours? I was like, I've never backed him.
I'll back him right out the back to his car.
Hey, guys, let me tell you something now. Our home form is the only thing that's going to keep us in this tournament. Because if we don't win all our home games, we'll be playing in the Europa League.
Hey, Kenny, I got news for you, Kenny. Go look at our form at home at the beginning of the year when we were playing teams that we should have been blown away. Go look.
Our home form in Europe, by the way. Yeah, our home form in Europe, Kenny. Yeah, knocked out to Olympiacos. Yeah, on our soil. Knocked out to Villarreal on our soil. Knocked out to Sporting Lisbon on our soil. Yeah, well, this manager's dusted.
That means we're going to be playing in Europa League or be bottom of the table then.
Yeah, somebody's going to nick one at home. Somebody's going to nick one at home. Watch what I tell you now.
Sevilla. Anyway,
I'm worried.
I need to go.
You know what? I'm worried. Yeah, we need to go anyway, but I'm worried.
Yeah. Adios, amigos.
Adios.
I'll take her out.
I'll take her out.